Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere on the 18th of April in 75. Hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year. Well, it's a pretty good bet. Ain't nobody alive, right? In fact, I read that the oldest woman living died recently. She was 116. Oh, I know. I don't want to be...
The new oldest woman in the world is 11 months younger than
The new oldest... A student was just telling me the new oldest woman is 11 months younger than that. But if you go to Boston, okay, the land of the beans and the cod, where the Cabots talk only to, what is it? What's the line? Where the Cabots talk only...
To the lodges.
To whom?
The lodges.
The lodges. Thank you, Anthony. The Cabots talk only to lodges, and the lodges talk only to God. Yeah, there we go. If you go to Boston's a great city. Boston is a great city. It's just a terrific place to visit. And if you go to God, I'm having major memory losses today. If you go to the Museum of Art there in Boston, you can visit the largest collection of silver work that was made by Paul Revere. He was a silversmith. Yeah. If you go to the Old North Church, where the signal was given, 1 if by land and 2 if by sea, and I on the following shore shall be. This guy's nodding. He knows the story. You can still go to church there. What a concept. I had an interesting email from a student maybe Thursday, Friday. And she asked me about that church I had talked about last week in where my sister lives. And she's from North Georgia. And I love to go to old churches. You know, I like to go to old churches. When my son and I were in Europe a few years ago, and we woke up in the morning and we had a free day, and he said, well, I guess it's another ABC day. I said, ABC? He said, yeah, Dad, with you, it's either another bloody church or another bloody cathedral. Okay, so, yeah, he was right on that. Okay, I like churches, I like cathedrals. Anyway, where am I going with this story? Oh, yeah, Boston. Okay. I forgot about Boston. Anyway, you go to Boston, and you can go to the Old North Church, you can go to the Museum of Art. But it's not just a story. It's part of history. It's part of history. If you go to Dillard's, okay? I don't like to go to Dillard's either. Okay, I don't do malls. But anyway, if you go to Dillard's and go to the housewares collection, which is even worse than just going to Dillard's. Yeah, it's bad. You can buy a set of silverware, or you can buy a set of cookware called, you want to help me here? No, he's not going to be any help. Revereware. After Paul Revere. Yeah, okay. I mean, and who doesn't know the story? If you grew up in the U.S., who doesn't know the story of the midnight ride of Paul Revere? Huh? When I travel in cold climates, I didn't bring it today because it's just too dang hot out there. But I have a long coat, tan, and it's a trench coat. Now, why is it called a trench coat? Because it was the coat worn by British military officers back in World War I, and that was the, help me here, you gonna help me?
I know where you're going.
Did you take history? Not recently, okay. It was the War of the Trenches, and therefore it was called, you know, you know the one I'm talking about, right? Okay, yeah. Well, grab this one. Okay. The color, I'm not wearing it today. I should have worn it today. Who's wearing it today? Let me look. Oh, this guy's wearing it. His trousers. Okay. What color is that?
Khaki.
Khaki. Okay. You know why it's called khaki? Because when the Brits were occupied India, their summer uniform, the British summer uniform, was white. And it gets sandy. Okay?
Management class.
So what? This is a management class. So what? Yeah. Wait a minute.
For 100 years it works.
Wait a minute. Do you think, I mean, duh, do you think that the only thing that's important is business, or the only thing that's important is management? Get out of here. No, it's not. There's lots of stuff that's important.
And this is because.
And this is because, I'm going to slap him. This is because life is not about business. Life is not about management. That's because
What's India to do with this?
India has to do with this because you're wearing khaki. Now, why is that called khaki? It's called khaki because the Brits wore white uniforms. The British officers wore white uniforms. And it's sandy in India. And so the wind would blow and it'd get sandy colored. Okay? And the British word, the Indian word, the Hindi word for sand color is?
No clue.
Oh, come on.
Khaki.
Cocky. Yes, cocky. Okay, and so that's why, I mean, that's standard. I mean, this guy's got khaki on too. And that's why we have these colors and names. Okay? This is stuff. Curse words. You ready for curse words? She's giggling here. Okay. You ready for curse words? This guy in the blue shirt is looking at me like, he's crazy. Okay. Well, I am crazy, but okay. Curse words. Most of our familiar curse words, such as the F word and the S word, okay, the reason that we've got them is that they came about from the Anglo-Saxons. And the Anglo-Saxons are the ancestors of most of us. And the reason we have those words is because it was the French that invaded England. Yeah, I'm not making this up, okay? You know, Richard the Lionhearted didn't speak English. Honest, I'm not making this up, okay? The middle finger salute. You ready for this one? He's cracking up. The middle finger salute. Okay. The English invaded France.
These are the French invaded England.
Well, that was first. You didn't take the damn history test, did you? No, clueless. Okay. Now, my son was a history major, and then he got his master's in education. This is my older son, and when he was doing his student, he says to me, "Dad," now this is at a middle school, okay? He says, "Dad," he said, "I'm doing this lesson on the ancient Greeks, and next week I'm going to cover Alexander the Great. Should I tell them he was gay?" I'm like, what grade is this? He says 6th. I said, Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, the middle finger salute. There we go. Now, this was after the French invaded England and took it over. Okay? This was a couple of 100 years later.
Napoleon years?
How many years?
Napoleon? Or
Napoleon, though, this is back in.
Napoleon? No! This is around 1250, 1100, yeah, around in there, okay? Napoleon, oh sweet Jesus. Anyway, the English invented the longbow, all right? I see you back there in your gator shirt laughing about that. Longbow. Yes, longbow. Okay, you ever tried to pull one? You ever been to a castle in Britain and, oh man, it's hard. Yes. Well, when the French beat the British, you ready for this? Yeah, they cut off the middle finger, and then the Brit longbowsman couldn't pull because you have to, you got to use, okay, see, she knows this. Okay, you got to pull it like that, okay? And if you don't have that middle finger, you're out of luck, okay? So then the French would taunt the Brits. You ready for this? You ready? I don't want to show this on TV, Anthony. Anthony, come on. I'm going to shoot them a finger.
What's that now?
He did that to Rush last spring.
Oh.
He did that to Rush last spring.
Yeah.
The entire class, so it's okay.
Close.
Go to commercial.
There we go. Okay. So, the French would taunt the Brits with the middle finger. Now, here's what's better. This is cool. Have you been to Britain?
No, I'm going next summer.
Oh, well, I'm going next summer. Oh, excuse me. Okay.
I'm a history major and I am first generation Irish, so it all works out very well.
Oh, don't go to Ireland is boring. Oh, it is horribly boring.
It is not that horrible at all. It's quite nice there.
Anyway, I love London. I love Britain, actually, and Scotland and Wales and what? Get out of here!
Britain's terrible.
Well, I didn't say anything about the food. Yes, the food sucks, but that's neither here nor there.
You're ranting on it.
Well, I can rant on. Anyway, you go to Britain, and you'll see this. If the Brits didn't lose their fingers, their middle finger, when their middle finger salute, if you will, is two fingers. So you'll be driving or riding in London, and people will do this. Okay, they're flicking them off. Yeah, exactly. Most of us will have a piece of history this week. You're going to have a piece of history this week, dog. Okay? You got me? The fourth Earl of John Montagu, and this back closer to Napoleon's time. This was in the 1790s, and he was a gambling man. Okay, he liked to play cards, and back then, actually, it was whist was the game, and he wanted to be able to play cards and at the same time eat. Who?
No, I was saying just use one hand. It's not that hard.
It was the fourth Earl of Sandwich. I'm not making this up. I mean, you know, it was the fourth Earl of Sandwich. And that's where the name came from. I went, I'm a rather odd tourist, okay, in that, yeah, you know, I do the Tower of London, and I do Buckingham Palace, and yeah, yada, yada, yada. Okay, the Musée d'Orsay. Actually, oh, have you been to the Picasso Museum? Oh, is that not wonderful? Yeah.
Out of the building, you hear, I was just go, wait, what is everything doing? It's all normal again.
Oh, I know. I love the Picasso Museum. Anyway, when you travel, one of the fun things to do is to go on walking tours. This guy's shaking his head. What? And one of the walking tours that I went on in London the last time I was there was, notice how I just casually dropped that, the last time I was there, yes. Anyway. I went on a walking tour of the financial district. Walking tours of London, by the way, is fantastic. It's just terrific. Oh, God, drive in London. Not even think about that. Okay, now. Anyway, so one of the places that we go by is where the stock market developed. And the guide was terrific. He took us to the coffee house that was the first stock exchange in London. And excuse me. And this was back in the 1600s. That was before Napoleon II. Anyway, this was back in the 1600s. And to measure the stock exchange transactions, they would have candles. And they'd place pins in the candles. And they'd place the pins there such that the pins would drop in about 5 minutes. Now, just before the pin dropped, grab this one, trading would stop. And it would get so quiet. Yeah, you could hear a pin drop. Huh? So that's where that expression comes from. Who we are and what we are and where we come from, this is all about history. Okay? This is all about history. It's all about us, isn't it? Huh? I mean, think about this. It's all about us. Whether we're talking on a personal basis, you're going to Ireland because your ancestors came from there. My ancestors came from there too. Okay, my grandmother and grandmother. County Cork and Leicester. Yeah. Leicester? No, that's not right.
Lancaster's England.
Yeah, County Cork. I'm sorry?
Leicester is
Leicester, yes, Leicester, thank you. Or whether you're talking about business, or whether you're talking about any kind of organization, you know, it's about business. It's about history. It caught me there. I mean, it's all about history. Now, management has been around for many moons more than the study of management. I mean, if you think about it, one study that I saw said that it took about 100,000 people, 20 years, 20 man years, whatever that means, to build the pyramids at Cheops. Hoi, yeah. There's an Assyrian tablet. I'm going to take off my shades here. Assyrian tablet from 4,500 years ago. It says, 30 years ago you left the city of Assur. You have never made a deposit since, and we have not recovered 1 shekel of silver from you. But we have never made you feel bad about this. Our tablets have been going to you with caravan after caravan, but no report from you has ever come here. Please do come back right away. Should you be too busy with your business, deposit the silver for us. If not, we will send you a notice from the local ruler and the police and thus put you to shame in the assembly of merchants. Whoa, dude. Code of Hammurabi. I've seen this in the British Museum, actually. 4,000 years ago. If a builder builds a house for a man and does not make its construction firm, and the house which he has built collapses and causes the death of the owner of the house, then that builder shall be put to death. This is a product liability law, right? I mean, that's what this is about. In the Han Dynasty in China. This was before Napoleon II. About 2,200 years ago, they had merit exams for government employees. Dudes! I mean, come on. This is, I can't tell what we can see here. Can you zoom in on this, Belinda? Oh, Belinda, come on. Hello. This is Machiavelli, the prince. Yeah, see, the history major knows that. That was just a 16th century principles of management book. Okay. What he was doing was he was telling how to manage a city-state. You know, such a deal. Sun Tzu, this is, I don't know how old this is. 2000.
Check copyright.
Check the copyright. No, you can't check the copyright because he didn't copyright the damn thing. Anyway, Sun Tzu. It's about 2,000 years old. The Art of War. Wonderful book. And what Sun Tzu was saying was, here's strategy. Here's how to compete. Okay. There was no formal theory of management until around 1900 because management wasn't well liked. It wasn't well liked. It wasn't respected. In ancient China, business people were a class just above criminals. Willie the Shake. Go to the Globe. See, I'm giving this woman advice on playing tourist, okay? The Globe, you're going to be there in the summer? Oh, my dear. I'm not a big Shakespeare fan, but the Globe is wonderful. Anyway, in The Merchant of Venice, do you still read The Merchant of Venice in high school? Yeah.
Where you lived if you were in public education or not.
Okay. Anyway, who's the bad guy in The Merchant of Venice? The money lender. Yeah, Shylock. Okay, Shylock's the bad guy. There's another line. Where is it from? I'm looking here at my notes. Let us have, from Shakespeare, let us have no lying. It becomes naught but tradesmen. Yeah, not good, huh? No. Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. You know that one, right? No, what? You know that one. Who's the bad guy?
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge. And what business is Ebenezer Scrooge in? Greed. No. Money lending. Yeah, he's a lender, right? He's a bad guy, according to Charles Dickens. On up into the 1800s, the mid-1800s, Honoré de Balzac. Yeah, he was a contemporary of Napoleon. I do not consider a broker to be a member of the human race. Ooh, I think the same thing about my broker too, but we won't go into that. Now, what happened? Okay, we went from all of this crapola to Donald Trump doing a talk show, a reality show. Okay, how'd this happen? Yeah, I know. It's the hair. The nose?
Yeah, the nose and the scalp.
Oh, he is just a piece of work. Anyway, well, what happened was that business became more important to society. See, back in the day, business wasn't important to society. You were born a business person. You were born into a family business. That's the way it was. Okay? But what happened was that business changed. I'm in the live section, and we started late. How late did we start, Anthony?
We're at 34 right now, so you got about, if you want to keep going to 50, we can go 15 more minutes.
They're dying on me out here.
We can stop anytime.
This guy thinks Napoleon was from, the 1000s or something. I don't know. Let's take about a 15-minute break, okay?